Welcome back to the Soul Sauce Podcast. It's been a minute. 3 weeks? It's been 3 weeks? Man, yeah, it's been a long time. New studio. We're out of your mom's kitchen. Man, out of the trap house. We're done breaking walls. We're done giving your mom sleep. Yeah, all the chaos, all the sleepless nights. We got our own spot. Are you pumped about it? Yeah, me too. Huh? I can't hear anything you said. Cool. So, new guest, new spot. We're going to do hashtag Nurse Jess. Like that?
Hashtag nurses.
Oh, hashtag nurses. Yep. So, what's up?
Hello.
How are you doing?
Good.
Yeah?
I'm good, yes.
You good with us hashtagging Nurse Jess?
Sure. Make that a thing.
We're going to make it super viral.
Yes.
And shout out to all the nurses on the front line dealing with all this COVID bullshit.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's been a year, that's for sure.
For everyone, it's been a year.
Yeah, it really has. It's definitely something that we can look back and say, we've lived through something that we never thought we would, but yet we made it through and we can push forward and
that's what I was going to say. Like, appreciate it. I don't know if I will ever live to see something like crazy like this, like a pandemic, another pandemic happen in my lifetime. You know what I mean? Like, there's been people 50, 60, 80 years, 80 years old and have never gone through a pandemic like this. So this is, not only is it history, but it's like definitely rewriting everything we ever knew, like medically.
Yep. Absolutely.
It's just crazy stuff. So, so you are a nurse.
I am. Yes.
Is that the technical term? Yes. Are you in the medical field? Like, what's the technical term?
There are actually a couple kind of nurses. There's a LPN, which is a licensed practical nurse. Those ones do I want to say it's a certificate program. And then there's a registered nurse where you actually get a college degree. You can get an associate's, bachelor's, master's, and then even a doctorate degree in nursing. So.
RN. Right?
Yeah, registered nurse.
Mm-hmm. Cool. And like schooling wise,
I did 2 years for an associate's. I actually did another 2 years for a bachelor's. Like I said, you can go further, another 2 years, master's, doctorate, just depends on what you are looking for. You can be a nurse practitioner, which is almost like a doctor, but not as much schooling.
Right. It's like one lower, right? Like a lesser level of like one below a doctor, right?
A nurse practitioner can actually
prescribe drugs.
Yes, they can prescribe. They actually can do more than a physician's assistant, which is interesting. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's not quite a medical doctor, it's interesting. The medical field is out there.
Yeah,
make up their own rules, I think, as they go.
Yeah, that's for sure.
That's what I figured out.
Any of those interest you, or are you good with where you're at?
I don't know. The next step would be nurse practitioner, but personally, I like direct patient care more. I like spending more time with patients as opposed to having that kind of like role where you spend 15, 20 minutes with the patient your whole shift, and then you're just like, okay, have a nice day.
Yeah.
So personally, I think where I'm at is good for now. So.
Well, that's like coming from my field, my background, like I have experienced that, and when I give credit to like the people in the trenches, especially like in the medical field, I'm not giving praises to necessarily the doctors. Mm-hmm. It's like nurses, nurse practitioners, all the people behind the scenes, not behind the scenes, but like the people that
really, if the way that you kind of describe it is kind of what it's like, because I've spoken about this to other people before too. It's like the doctors come in, they talk to the patient, they give them like a generic answer to their questions, and then us that are actual patient caregivers are left to explain the doctor's explanation.
Absolutely.
Or kind of give them whatever answers that they're looking for. And then it's funny too, whenever a patient is wanting an answer that we're not giving them, the doctor will come in and literally give the same answer that we gave them. So it's just kind of like,
and then at that point they take it as like being, the word. They're like, oh yeah.
The doctor told me, so we're good.
Yeah, for sure. But what I was saying is, like, so I would take people for like medical clearances, because that's usually the procedure when you arrest somebody. You take them for medical clearance, and then you take them to wherever they're going. But it was always like a nurse going in, asking like, what are your symptoms, doing the, what is it, like a check-in, or like all the stuff,
like the vital signs,
all that stuff. And then they'd be like, okay, you have an abscess, or you have whatever. Excuse me. The doctor would come in and like just verify.
Sure.
And then they'd be like, the nurse is going to come back and treat you for your abscess.
Yeah.
So it, like you said, it literally was like a 15-minute visit from the doctor. And then he was either there to be like, here's your paperwork, he's cleared for jail,
here's your diagnosis,
or whatever.
Have a nice day.
Exactly. So, yeah, I mean, for me, I saw firsthand that like nurses really do the shit. Like they were draining out like abscess, they were administering medications, all this stuff. And especially like when we got like really, really deep into it, like when it came to people who had like trauma or stuff like that, it was like the nurses doing all the crazy shit. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, shout out to you guys. You guys deal with a lot.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it's a tough job. I'm not gonna lie. It's very rewarding though. At the end of the day, it just kind of, it takes a toll on you, but at the same time, you can kind of sit back and just appreciate that. You do your job, and you just.
Is being a nurse or wanting to go into the medical field, was that something you always wanted to do?
So in high school, I had the opportunity to kind of shadow different medical fields, and for some reason nursing just kind of stuck out to me. I don't know, I think it was just being able to make people feel good about the situation they were in, because not everybody wants to be in the hospital, not everybody wants to be sick and stuff like that. And so it kind of opened my eyes, and I was like, maybe this seems like something I want to look into and stuff. And so starting college and stuff, that was kind of my major, and then life happened and things went down and stuff, and I ended up having a child who ended up super sick in the hospital, and that was my like eye-opener, breaking point. And I was like, okay, this is
really that was like, I'm doing this.
Yeah, this is where I was meant to be. This is what, because I not only got to be a parent of a sick child in the hospital, I got to see what they did, and then I was like, okay, now I want to be able to give that back to everybody else.
Right. Now, how was that experience for you? Like, was that different? Like, obviously treating tons and tons of patients probably before you had your son.
No, honestly, I didn't even start nursing school until after he was out of the hospital from.
So you didn't have any experience really?
None.
Wow. So I guess then, how is it different from like now, like having your son and realizing like all of that stuff, and then
it has given me more patience, I feel, for grieving parents and situations, because I mean, nobody expects to be in that kind of situation. Right. And if you ever ask just people out in the regular world, they never expect children not born. So when you it's funny because like if you ever say that you work with kids, they automatically assume that you work with like preemie babies.
Right.
But there's actually like a middle area where there's kids that can get sick, and unfortunately some die and stuff like that. And so nobody realizes that there's actually that area. And so I worked in that area for many, many years, and I've seen unfortunate events and stuff like that. And so being a mom in that kind of situation really made me be able to help other parents and other families kind of feel not really better that their kid was sick, but more understanding, I guess.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. Like, look, I'm going through maybe something similar, or
Or I've been through something similar, and I can relate to you, and I can be more compassionate, and just kind of just.
And it's not that, like, I say we, and I guess like law enforcement, the medical field, those are the guys.
They actually go hand in hand if you really think about it, because so you guys show up to unfortunate events, and it's ugly.
Yeah, and that's why I usually pair like the two, and I say we because we usually see the same stuff, you know. But and it's not to go along with what you were saying, it's not that we're not passionate or we're not caring already, but like what you're saying, when it hits home, you're just, it's like, no, I know.
Yeah.
Like I know.
I know.
You know, so.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I guess, what did you do before nursing?
I worked in retail. Unfortunately, I worked at Victoria's Secret. So,
and
yeah.
Coupon codes hit up Nurse Jess.
Nurse Jess, Victoria's Secret. No, I really did. I worked retail. I worked different stores, like at the mall. I didn't really. I grew up in a very strict home. Your wife knows what kind of mother I had. So. But no, really though.
Would she approve you working at Victoria's Secrets?
Surprisingly, she did.
Oh, nice.
I mean, it was a job. I don't think she really cared where it was at the time. But yeah, no, I didn't have. That's why I said when I started college, I stopped college. I kind of lived my life, and then once I had like a reality check, is when I came to and realized, no, you need to make a career for yourself. And
yeah, absolutely.
so ever since then, it just has taken off, and it's been great.
So how long have you been in the medical field?
I have been a nurse for over 9 years.
Really?
Yeah, I know.
And how old is your oldest?
He just turned 12. I started nursing school when he was 9 months old.
Dang, that's a long time. Yeah. That is a long time. So you've obviously have seen like different, I guess.
Name it, I probably have seen it.
Well, no, like we're not, I mean, like what have you seen that's different, like in healthcare or medical care in general? Like what has changed significantly? Because there's always a shift. Like for me, there was a shift. In 6 years in law enforcement, there was a shift.
You were a cop for 6 years?
Mm-hmm.
Dang.
So like a shift in the way that we used to do things.
Sure.
Till the time that I left, there was, it just was like the whole book was rewritten.
Yeah. I mean, medicine honestly changes day by day. Like people find new discoveries for diagnosing cancer or treating AIDS, or it just all depends on the day, to be honest. And
Hey.
In 9 years, I can honestly say that, I mean, even the way procedures are done, it's just, it all depends on the equipment that has been either improved or discovered from the time that it started. So,
and you, and I don't know, but I kind of know vaguely, but you'd mentioned equipment, but there's hospitals, which I barely found out like in the last 2-3 years, and this is while like being in law enforcement, but there's different hospitals that are like different grades that are,
oh yeah,
right. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What is that?
So,
or what is the term for that? Like different grades that are able to handle different stuff, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So like I can reference, I guess, Albuquerque hospitals because I've been there for a very long time. So sorry, I thought I could do.
Oh no.
So UNM is the community hospital, so they're funded by like the state basically. So they take a lot more like Medicaid patients or patients that are what's the term? I guess, what's the term?
Less fortunate, maybe?
Yes, thank you. And so they see a lot more come in that, say, like Presbyterian wouldn't see.
Right.
Presbyterian, they take a lot more based on like their insurance because they provide insurance for like the public and stuff. And then UNM also is a trauma hospital. So they are a Trauma One hospital for the state of New Mexico.
Got it.
So they take like car accidents and shootings and all that stuff.
Right,
So,
right.
I mean, granted, Presbyterian is on Central, so they do see quite a bit of crime.
But they also get like a influx of like you said, for the state, all the stuff that we would deal with,
Right.
like all the crazy stuff,
Right,
it would
so-
be UNMH.
Right, exactly. So, like, say that you were out on the street and you arrested somebody for something, like, the first place you would go to would probably be UNM as opposed to Presbyterian. Kind of. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure.
So it's kind of like, and then Loveless, I mean, is there too. I mean, there's other smaller hospitals around town that take, and every hospital has, there is a policy where every hospital has to take everything regardless of what it is. Even so, there's been times where Presbyterian has had like a stabbing dropped off at the doorstep. They have to take it because it's at their doorstep and stuff like that. So it just all depends. It's
Well, like for us, we would have, I mean, Espanola. I mean, you have homicides, you have the worst of the worst. You have,
which is funny to me that you say that too, because Espanola still is part of the Presbyterian hospital system. Yeah. But I've gone to Espanola and done some training there and stuff, and they told me that they actually got quite a bit of trauma, which is
it's a lot of trauma
because we're not a trauma system.
But it's like crazy stuff, you know. I mean, and it's no fault of their own, you know. But it's just the area that we were in, you know. And I mean, it was either a stabbing or a shooting or a car accident or something where the only thing they could do was get them stabilized enough to get care flight, get them loaded, and then UNMH.
Right. And
it was unfortunate because, like, I feel like it was more than 50%, and maybe it was less, but I feel like half of the time they were either like dying on the way going to UNMH, or like they were like redlining or something like that. Sure. Where if they would have just been maybe closer to UNMH, or like, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like maybe
totally.
they would have had a fighting chance. But yeah, that's unfortunate. And that's when I really started paying attention. Like, hey, this is the baseline care that we can give.
Right.
We're not fit to do anything else. We can't do anything.
It's unfortunately the medical field it has a lot of its frustrations.
But you would think that like it should be
across the board.
Across the board, we can handle anything.
I think a lot of that ends up being just the hospital system in itself, who is running it, who the sponsors or who funds the hospital.
Right.
I mean, it just really all depends on the system itself, I think, is where it comes down to.
So obviously in 9 years you have seen some shit.
I have.
Right?
Oh yeah.
And you've been an RN for all 9 years?
I have.
Now, have you been in different like areas?
I have been in different areas. It's funny because when I first started nursing, I worked with adults for about a year and a half. I mean, sometimes it depends on who you know with any place.
Sure, yeah.
But it's definitely good to get experience and kind of get your feet wet in different areas and kind of see, and then you find your passion and you find what you really want and stuff like that. Yeah. So, fresh out of nursing school, I started on an adult unit, saw some great stuff, had some great stories. People are crazy. It's really interesting. Working in a hospital, you start to realize that once people walk through that sliding door, like
No holds bars, like
common knowledge, how to wipe your ass, all flies out the door.
gone.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've seen it like, and I've been fortunate where me is just being like law enforcement. I'm there just to really supervise and make sure that they don't go like ape shit on the nurses and stuff.
Sure.
And the reason I'm there is because they're going to jail ultimately.
Right.
But I'm like,
oh yeah,
dude,
I've had some patients that have been handcuffed to the bed.
yeah,
so
I'm like,
that's-
dude, I'm gone. I'm later. Like, you know what I mean? Like, sorry,
Yeah.
you guys have to deal with this shit, but you know, and we were just going through like all of my lapel footage of all my old cases, and like a lot of them were like at the hospital with like people just wigging out. But like, I don't know how many times I was like, man, I would. Well, okay, so I retract that because I was really interested in like the trauma stuff. So like when people were
Same.
like, yeah, I was like in it. People were like, what the F are you doing? And I was there with like the nurses, the doctors. They'd be like suturing them up, you know, or they had a contusion or whatever. And I'd be right there because I wanted to know.
Yeah.
And so, in fact, maybe like 2 or 3 years ago, one of the doctors at Espanola, he was like, dude, why don't you,
Look
you know,
into
do like a few hours with us.
or even like EMT or something crazy like
but he's
that.
like, you can do a few hours with us and you can be like a police officer and you could do like, I don't know what he called it, but I was like, dang, that would be cool. But I don't know if I could handle much more than what I really saw.
Sure.
Because what really made me get out of law enforcement was my mental health,
Sure.
physical,
Oh yeah.
emotional health.
Absolutely.
And that's what I wanted to talk to you.
It takes quite a bit, to be honest,
Yeah.
to stop that once you leave that
Yeah.
building. It really does. Like there's been numerous situations where it's been hard to go home and not bring that with you.
Oh, yeah.
But at the same time, it's definitely, I don't know. It's hard to say. It's hard to say, like, just because, I don't know.
So let me back up. So after you did like the 1 year of adult work, where did you go?
So when I went to nursing school, like I had said before, when my son was sick and stuff, and I had realized like nursing is where I need to be and be able to give back and stuff. So when I went to nursing school, my whole thought process was like, you're going to go to nursing school, you're going to become a pediatric ICU nurse. That is what you're going to be. And to get the experience that you need, because it's, like I said, specialties require a certain amount of experience.
Absolutely.
So for something that specialized in pediatric intensive care, they prefer that you at least have a year or so just nursing experience in general. It doesn't necessarily have to be in pediatrics. And so once I got the 1.5 year experience that I needed, I was like, okay, like it's time for you to move on and to become what you were expecting. And so I ended up starting in the pediatric ICU when my second son was 10 months old.
Nice.
Yeah. And so I worked in pediatric intensive care for the last 7 years. So it wasn't until this last December that I worked with kids and babies and
Wow.
and
So the
I mean,
majority of your time.
yeah, the majority of my career has been with children. And I mean, I'm talking children with breathing tubes and IVs that go almost to their heart and tubes that you never expected would be in your child and stuff like that. So it
How was that?
it's intense. It really is, because not only are you physically taking care of the child in front of you, but you also have to be cognizant of the family and the parents and everybody involved, because it's not just the kid that you're taking care of, as opposed to an adult who came in for who knows what, like something they did to themselves, or you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it just depends. But with children, I mean, they're brought in because somebody did something to them, or because they have cancer. Like kids get cancer and nobody sees that. And so it's tough, and it's no, I'm not going to lie. Like it takes a very, very special person to be able to go to work, do this job, and come home and be able to still mentally be able to care for other people.
Well, the like to turn it off and have some form of normality at home, you know, but also like, so, okay. So like for me, the biggest thing was like, I'm not good with kids, because this was before I had my son.
Sure.
And I was like, I am not good with like seeing kids dying or kids being abused or tortured or any of this stuff.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, the first major case that I had was a child death, like a homicide of a 7-year-old little girl, super innocent. And like I can talk about this case because it's already, you know, it's been 7 years or 6 years, but that still haunts me today. One, because like I saw her like fighting for her life. Two, I saw the dad who was to blame.
Sure.
And like just all the questions that came along with that, like like how does an innocent
It's just why
baby,
is
you
where
know?
you come, and it's frustrating and it's infuriating, because I, as a parent yourself, you just like you get angry at your kids, and you get frustrated and stuff, and
Right.
that's normal. That's a normal
Right,
feeling,
right.
and but at what point are you like, okay, I need to turn off that frustration, walk away, take 10 minutes to myself, regroup, and then kind of come back to the situation? Because I just feel like sometimes people don't see that, and it's just
Well, yeah. And like you said, people just don't know how to turn it off. And it's like I need to just rage, you know, and that end point is like super unfortunate. But the thing that I struggled with is like kids who succumb to like their injuries that are not like child abuse related, or that are not, you know, done by somebody else.
Sure.
You know, this like that one, I think that stuck with me, still sticks with me. It literally was an accident, and you know, it's just like one of those things. Like it was her time, you know, but
Sure.
like having to deal with that as a new officer and like take pictures of her little body and like from her toes to her head, one big bruise, having to talk to the family, like that was devastating to me, because like,
And then at the same time, you're trying to like keep your composure, because I'm sure you just felt like this
yeah,
rage inside.
yeah.
where it's just
And
like,
I didn't know how to like deal with it. Like it was up to like maybe 4 years ago that I really started talking about it, 4 or 5 years ago. And it took me like having nightmares and breaking down and crying and like it was just disgusting. And then like, and actually it was at like 4 or 5 years when I saw my second child death. And luckily I've only had two, and that brought back everything else. But it's just like tough, you know? And then like you said, you question, you know, it's just like, why, you know, there are people in this world who deserve,
who are sick.
yeah,
They're
who deserve
sick people.
to die. I'm sorry, who deserve to die,
No,
who deserve not to be living. And, you know, little baby
right.
is taking off this earth. So I'm sorry, but that's what it is. And it just doesn't sit well with me. But like,
fair.
like dealing with that stuff, and then like dealing with like all the other stuff, and it just like is mentally taxing.
It
So
is
like,
very taxing. Yeah.
like how do you deal with all the mental stuff, emotional stuff?
Honestly, I think it kind of just goes back to my roots of being in their position and feeling what they felt, and praying that your child makes it to another day, because no parent should ever have to bury their child. Like it's a very hard thing to do, and like you're saying, unfortunately, sometimes when it's a child's time, it's a child's time. But you kind of look at it as they are so sweet and innocent that, I mean, there's little angels that will live on forever and stuff like that. And so
yeah,
it's I guess I'm kind of straying away from the topic, but in order to kind of do the job, see stuff like that happen, and then be able to wake up and go back and do it again, it takes a lot. It takes a lot of mental strength. It takes a lot of courage, and it takes a lot of, is this really what I meant to do in my life? But if, I don't know if you've ever heard that saying, where if it's something that you really care for and you really love, it's not really a job.
Yeah, it's not work. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I felt about law enforcement too. And there was not a day where I woke up and I was like, shit, I have to go to work.
Yeah.
You know, I did not question it. Like, I was pumped. Mm-hmm. But, you know, the other thing that I realized, and I'm sure this happens to you as well, is we become numb to like death and suffering and like seeing people in like these. I wouldn't
necessarily say you become numb. I just feel like you start realizing that people, it's a part of living, I guess. Like, not, if everybody lives their life that the way they choose to live their life.
Sure.
So if you choose to live your life of constantly doing stuff that isn't good for you, and then your body can only take so much.
Yeah.
And if you continue to take that in, then your body's gonna be like, hey, like, I can't do this anymore. And so it's not that we see it as, oh, another person died, it's no big deal. Like, it's just, your body can only take so much. And so it appreciates you, and it says, okay, like, I see what we've done together for the years, but I can't do it anymore. Like, and so I think we look at it as, we're just like, okay, like,
it is what it is.
Yeah. I mean,
and that's really, like, for me, I found myself doing just that. Like, look, sorry, you're a heroin addict, and like, you do heroin every day, and you've done heroin for 40 plus years. I was trying not to be so big about it. No, it is what it is.
No, it is. Like, it really is. And
you know,
it's
you do heroin for 40 years, and what do you think is going to happen? Right. You know, like, you know, you're not going to survive every overdose, you know, and so, like, I found myself being like, well, this overdose took you out, you know?
Yeah.
So for me, it was just like, it is what it is, you know? I mean, you know, short and sweet, like, hey, yeah, you do something so many times, or you treat your body like shit, or, you know, you hang out with the wrong crowd or whatever, and it's going to catch up to you, you know? And
see, and in the medical field, that's like, working in the different areas that I've worked in, it's hard not to feel that kind of like,
that compassion still.
Right. Like, with kids, it's like, okay, they're innocent children. Like, they didn't ask to be here. Like, something happened to them that caused them to come here. And it's not their fault. As opposed to an adult where it's like, oh, you've been here like the last 2 months. Like,
or you know them by name. Yeah.
Right.
Like, you have a chart.
Right. Dude, where I'm like, hey, girl, like, I thought we talked about it last month. Like, don't come back here.
Yeah.
So, no, you kind of get to that point where you're just kind of like, oh, okay, it's nice to see you again. I mean,
I saw you 2 days ago.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
So if you weren't, I guess, in the medical field, what do you think you'd be doing?
Ooh, that's a good question. Ooh, hopefully not working at Victoria's Secret anymore. Let's put that out there right now.
Especially during COVID.
Yeah.
Bro. Right or no?
I mean, they've got some pretty thick girls on there now. So
no. But like COVID, like the stores closed, right or no?
The mall did. Yeah, the mall closed for quite some time.
Ass out of a job.
Yeah,
you'd be working from home, shipping panties from your
panties from my living room. You might be making more money though. Hey, I've heard.
You know. Side note. Lauren's gonna start an OnlyFans.
All right. Sign me up. Number one fan. A dual oh, my OnlyFans.
Whose feet are these? Guess who?
Hey, did you know that's actually a thing?
Feet shit.
Feet pics, yes.
God, why do we always go back to feet stuff? So episode 1. No, was it episode 1? Episode 1, 2, and 3 of our podcast, Lauren and Toby were talking about starting a OnlyFans because Lauren, I guess there's been like this whole feet thing.
There is, yeah, totally.
And Lauren's like, "Look, I'm a stay-at-home mom. I'm gonna start because she loves her feet. I love her feet. She takes care of her feet.
Hey, can we do like dual feet?
That's what I'm saying. Like, we could take a picture of your foot and her foot and be like, guess whose foot?
Right.
You
I
know?
mean, I have
paint them the same
I
style.
have very recognizable tattoos. So
on both feet.
on both feet.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, we could do some editing, I think. I don't know.
Some Photoshop. Just scribble that out.
So she was like, Tobes, I'm staying home. If you want in, I'm taking pictures of my feet. I'm fucking sending pictures. I'm sending my bathwater. I'm sending my holy socks, all this bullshit, and I'm making money.
Sure.
And then they ended up like
it's
looking
a
into it.
legit business.
There was somebody, that girl that how much
I question my professional career all the time.
Oh yeah. Wait, how much did that girl make? Like $60,000 sitting at home, probably eating mac and cheese, taking pictures of her feet.
Oh yeah, totally. Do you know how many like Photoshop apps there are to like smooth out some crusty heels?
I'm sure there's people that like nasty ass feet.
Oh yeah, totally.
You know? And then my buddy Drew was like, dude, he's like, I have a friend who sends like nasty ass underwear. Not nasty ass underwear, but like her underwear, her bathwater. What else? What else did he say? Who knows? But she makes like $100,000 on OnlyFans.
What?
And I was like, dude, he's like, bro, because he's unemployed. And he's like, bro, I'll sit my fat ass at home. I'll send my nasty ass boxers. I will send pictures or videos of me like fucking bathing in a bath full of cereal for $100,000. And I was like, I guess, but yeah, I mean, that's the shit, you know?
Some nice little floaties running around in this water.
Some checks? No, not checks, Kicks. Miles' favorite cereal.
Nice.
But yeah, that's a thing. Sorry, side note. I think you should have got that.
Feet only
fans. You still could. Let me see your feet. All of a sudden you're all shy. This is the introduction.
She's like, these feet ain't
all
free.
of a sudden. Yeah, so what would you be doing? You don't know?
No, early 2000s OnlyFans was not a thing. So I would definitely say, TD's, Fantasy Worlds, those were the hot.
You would strip?
No.
Oh.
No.
Oh.
No, that's what I'm saying. Those are the thing back in the early 2000s.
I was like, dang, you'd strip?
No.
It was like A, medical field, B,
strip. I mean, to be honest, them strippers make some good money. They
not Santa Fe.
Have you ever had that Cheeks chicken? It's good stuff.
They don't even have a menu. Oh my God. We lived across the street.
Outside. It's so good.
What? Oh, okay. Yeah. That pollo asado. Yeah. Yes. Mm-hmm. I was like, they don't even have a menu inside.
Well, you know what? I've heard that apparently TD's has the best steaks in town on Sundays.
Okay. I can attest to that. So I took my buddy Drew. Okay, long story long. We went. He got some dances, like was out of money or something. I still had money. He like walks up to me. He's like, bro, can I have like $20? And I'm like, $20? Mm-hmm. And I was like, you're out of money? He's like, yeah. He's like, whatever, blah, blah, blah. He's like, no. He's like, but I want $20 because they have the best sandwich here. Steak sandwich. And I was like, okay. You're coming to the strip club to eat food and you want me to pay for your food? I was like, no. No, I'll pay for a dance.
Yeah,
but,
sure.
Yeah.
You can get your money's worth.
Yeah, but I heard they have a kick-ass menu. I don't know. I've never
Steak on
eaten.
Sundays at TD's is the place.
Steak and lobster?
Oh, no.
No? You don't like lobster?
I love lobster, but at a strip club, that's a whole other story. But I have also heard that you should never eat food where they take off their clothes. But that's...
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well...
But I'm like...
See, why... Okay, now I have questions. Like, why?
Exactly.
Do you know why?
No.
Oh, I thought you knew why.
No.
That's weird.
Word from
Can you look it up right away? I'm like, why you should not eat naked?
Eat at a naked
or cook food naked.
Have you ever watched Wonderlust? The guy who makes naked wine.
Wonderlust. Why do we know that? No.
No.
Is it a Netflix thing?
HBO Max.
We're not on that level. I'm not making that money yet. I'm not making that nurse money yet.
Not making that nurse money.
God, I lost my train of thought. But anyways, strip clubs are good. Yeah. We've had plenty of strip club stories. We used to live across from Cheeks.
Oh, very nice.
So that was our spot.
Very nice.
Pretty often. And more times than not, it was just disgusting. Yeah. We were there like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Just odd times. Never good. Never good.
I have my fair share of strip club stories.
Yeah.
I don't think it ever ends well.
No, there's good. The only other one that was really, really bad was knockouts. Oh my gosh.
I got a good story for you about knockouts.
That tops Cheeks. on the ghetto scale. Huh?
Was at
No, but right across the street, really tasteful, is my spot.
the library.
FX?
Oh, FX.
That is my shit.
Yeah, totally.
That is my shit. Aside from two guys peeing in the same urinal, that's my shit. I walked in and I was like, dude, why are you... Both of you guys are sharing one urinal? That's fucking weird. I'm out.
I think I got one to top you, brother.
Let's hear it.
I saw a bumpy stripper at Knockouts.
What is a bumpy stripper at where?
At Knockouts. Oh, yeah. The light would hit her, like, perfectly and keep rotating and hit her just, like, at the right spot. No. All over, boo-boo. All over. Oh, yeah.
What kind of bumps?
Exactly. Exactly. That's all I got to say. Needless to say, we left.
And how drunk were you?
Drunk enough to remember.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
remember, this was like...
Because you know how, like, if you're drunk, like, okay, if you're drunk,
you question if you saw it, and then you just...
Yeah, but you're like, oh, okay, this person gets, like, a little bit more appealing, or, you know, you start, like, letting stuff...
It was so bad that the stripper after her had to wipe down the pool extra well.
Well, I feel like you should do that anyways. I asked Lauren... When did I ask you? I was like, babe, for $1 million, let every stripper at Cheeks dance on the pole, and then you lick it for $1 million. And she said, what'd you say? No. Toby said yes.
I would probably have to go with Lauren.
No?
I've heard of crabs on eyebrows at Fantasy World.
I have a story, but I'm not going to say that on camera. I'm just not.
Yeah, so
I didn't get crabs, but...
Needless to say,
On eyebrows?
Oh, yeah. But
What, do you just shave them off? How do you get rid of them?
that's a medical question I don't have the answer to.
If you guys ever see me with my eyebrows
If we ever see Ernest like this, we got problems.
No, I'm going to shave them off. I'm going to do the next podcast with my eyebrows gone.
No, so the only reason why I remember this so vaguely is because we had already left the strip club and we saw the stripper
Knockouts.
At Knockouts, yes.
Okay.
Leaving because I believe that they said you need to go.
You're a little too much.
You're a little too bumpy for it to go.
Yeah. I think you got COVID.
COVID in like 2007.
No way.
Oh, yeah.
Was it a rash?
It was something of some sort. I'm not going to lie.
Did she make a lot of money that night?
I don't believe so.
She left owing money.
Yes, I'm gonna have to say yes. Absolutely.
Dang, what was that?
Yeah. Oh, I've seen my fair share of bumps. So
maybe we have, but maybe we were just way too drunk, babe. So we went to Knockouts. There was like this basketball type body girl, right? And she was like all about it. She was doing some crazy stuff, huh? We were like, this girl's super athletic.
sure.
Of course.
I mean, they have to be.
This girl
I've
was like,
tried to climb stuff and it doesn't end well. Let me tell you right now. So I give props to those girls because it takes a lot.
yeah. This girl was doing all kinds of stuff, huh? Like not crazy stuff, but like
Sure.
she was super athletic. And we were like, dang, she's like legit. And
I don't care. She's sorry.
so she gets off the stage. Then this like hood rat white chick. Was she white? I vaguely remember. I was really drunk. Hood rat chick gets on stage, is dancing, and then there's this guy. What was he doing, or like what happened? Something happened, and she stopped the whole show. She stopped the music, everything. Like had them turn on the lights, and she like shamed this dude like publicly. Like was like F this mother effer. Like had security. We were like, bro, you're super ratchet. And like she was just putting on a crazy like.
And she was a worker there?
She was a stripper.
Oh,
and we're
dang.
like, bro, what? I think like maybe he touched her or something. Like,
Sure.
which probably happens all the
But
time.
yet they are like all up on you, lifting shirts, like.
Right.
So explain to me, I don't know if you know the answer to that, but like how does that work?
I feel like Lauren can speak to this, but I feel like they're selling a fantasy,
Sure.
right?
Okay.
It's like, I'm selling a fantasy. You're paying for
This is something that you want.
you honestly can't get.
Sure.
You're never going to get. And honestly, I've talked to people where they're like, dude, they realize that like, I'm not gonna blow a lot of money because I'm not gonna get nothing. I'm literally just I could literally sit in a seat, have everybody else pay for dances, or you could get a private dance or a seat dance, whatever, and I could watch and not have to pay for shit.
Right.
So it's literally just a visual. You're paying for a visual. Now, I've also heard of like people or strippers allowing people to pay extra for extracurricular activities.
Private dances.
Yeah. Private dances. But I don't know. I feel like it's like an unwritten rule. Like you're just going to watch like a movie.
Sure. That's fair.
You know? Unfortunately, it's like $500 at the end of the night.
It's a very expensive movie, yes.
Yeah, you drain your bank account, but
You wake up the next morning, you're like, oh, yeah.
that was an expensive movie. That was
sure.
a long movie. I don't know. I used to enjoy them a lot more, but like when I started realizing like I'm not getting anything out of it,
Right.
you know, and it was more of just like a social. Like we would have fun, like to see Lauren have fun, and like we would go with the group and just
Yeah.
It was just an
Something to
atmosphere.
do.
Yeah,
I
it's just an
mean,
atmosphere.
The town we live in, you're only given so many options.
Yeah,
and
it's
so-
just
Yeah.
like you said, something to do. Now, I think it's a different level. I think there's different people who utilize strip clubs for different things. Now, I think there's creeps that go like after work every day and like sit in the corner and like
Yeah.
just,
I mean,
you know?
those are also the ones that show up at the park and
yeah, yeah, order a Diet Coke with a straw. Those guys, you know, you're just like.
we got
So I
you.
think
We got your number.
Yeah. I think there's different strip club goers.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
So I don't know. And for them, it might be to something else. It might be like, oh, you know, like a deeper fantasy.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like,
Totally.
but I mean, it's just more of a vibe,
Yeah.
you know? So, but
So needless to say, stripping was not my first.
Okay.
choice.
Let's get back to where we were. So, what do you think you would be doing if you weren't
okay
in the medical field?
So, there was a point in my college career that I thought that maybe nursing wasn't for me. My grandfather, and he actually wasn't even my like biological grandfather, but he had passed away, and it was really hard for our family. And so I was like, maybe nursing isn't for me. And this was actually prior to having my son, and so
why?
It just
Are you willing to talk as to like why at
yeah,
that point
absolutely,
you feel
because
like...
I mean, seeing a family member pass away is very hard for anybody, especially like a patriarch or a matriarch of the family. Like it's a big deal, and so at that time, being that I was working in retail and stuff, and I saw kind of like advertising and promotioning and stuff like that, and I was like, well, I mean, I'm decent at that. I guess I can kind of pursue that and stuff, and I continued my job in that area and stuff like that. And then after that, I kind of is when I took my life break, so to speak.
Life break.
Like life break, we'll just call it that. Had my son, and then real life happened and started, and I couldn't be happier, and I couldn't be more excited to say that I chose the right career, and I chose
absolutely
what I was meant to be. And so now I can say that I'm a nurse, and it's been great.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely one of those careers where you get to go home and pat yourself on the back and be like, I literally made an impact I had a direct impact on somebody's life, you know.
You can say that most days. I would say you can try to say that most days. It's hard because,
but even the attempts, you know, because like for me, me going out and like attempting to help somebody, or like maybe they didn't want the help, you know, like 9 times out of 10, the people that were like overdosing, me having to respond to these guys, or you know,
I could
or a
definitely
civil
see
dispute.
that. It's just,
you know,
it's like those frequent flyers, so to speak, those are the ones where you're just like, well, I'll take care of you because you're here, because.
And that's the shit part, right? That's and that's that like that's like that insensitive part, because we're still human, so that insensitive part, like,
I think the word
I've seen
is called
you
jaded. I think that's what they call us after so many years.
Well, you do,
the
yeah.
same shit after
you get jaded. You're like, look, you're a frequent flyer. I've seen you fucking 20 times this month.
I arrested your ass last week. Let's get it together, brother.
I've seen you so many times.
Yeah.
You know, let's just get this over with. I'm going to take you for a med clearance. You're probably going to say that you fucking have a, you know, something just so you can try to get pain meds or whatever. And then we're going to go to jail. It's just the same thing. And then what happens is then, you know, you don't go to work or you're not on shift, and then they end up dying. And you're like, dang, that person died.
Sure.
You know?
Was there something I missed?
Yeah. No, but it's one of those things. It's like in the moment, you're just like, dude, let's get this over with. But the human part of me is just like, dang, you know? So you become...
It's definitely one of those where you plan for the worst, but hope for the best, I guess.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's a fine line where you really do. You put your 110% in every day, and you just kind of, I mean, sit back and be like, well, I mean, I'm doing what I can for you, but it's not going to make a difference unless you make a difference for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so it's a very rewarding job for those that actually come out at the better end, but at the same time with those that don't, you just kind of like, well, I did my job, and I can appreciate that I did my job, and hopefully I made an impact on your life. If I didn't, I mean, I'm sorry, but I did what I could. So. And
that's refreshing to hear, I guess, because you are actually rendering aid. Like we are there to monitor, or we're there because maybe there's somebody who's being combative or doesn't want to stay in the room. So we show up or whatever, but we're just there, you know, we rile them up. We are just the babysitters, and you guys are actually rendering
Oh, yeah.
aid, right?
Oh,
So
yeah.
if it doesn't, doesn't work out in your guys' favor, I guess, or like they don't pull through from whatever, I would assume that like that would mess me up. Like, dang, like you said, did I miss something? Was there something more I could have done? Because for me, it's like, dang, man, maybe if I would have got there a little bit sooner, maybe if I would have did that. But at the end of the day, like, I'm not a medical professional, so if somebody gets shot, there's only so much I can do.
Right.
I can only do what
And
I can
honestly,
do.
as a healthcare professional, there's only so much we can do too. I mean,
Yeah.
we're only granted so many supplies or so many, I don't know, just orders or medical advice or physical attributes that we're able to physically do. And it's just, it's hard. It's a hard job. Not gonna
Yeah,
lie.
for sure.
So,
So in 9 years, if you had to put your finger on one specific situation and not like name names or go into really a lot of details, is there one that really stands out, like that still kind of like sticks with you, where you're just like, dang, that was the one? Because I know there's one for everyone. You know what I mean?
sure. It's hard to say because I've seen a lot. I've done a lot. I've smelt a lot.
Yeah.
Heard a lot. I've been punched. I've been kicked. It goes on and on and on. Let me tell you.
But like, let's say somebody who maybe passed away.
Sure.
When that stuck to you, you're just like, dang, for whatever reason.
Yeah, there is one situation that kind of just haunts me, and it really just holds heavy in my heart, and I feel not only for the child but the parent, because this is something that I don't know what it was or what the situation was, and it was hard. There was a child that he was bullied, and it's something that no child should ever have to go through because I don't know, growing up, when we grew up, we had bullies and we had people who, I don't know, were just not nice to each other. But I feel that social media and the internet in general has really made an impact on the generation below us, and it really does affect people, and
Right.
you don't really see it until you actually see it and stuff like that. And so this child just, he couldn't take it anymore, and unfortunately his mother found him. And when I cared for this child, sitting there listening to this mom, and she straight up told me that she could no longer live in the house that she raised this child in, it killed me. Like, I had to, I think this may have been the one and only time so far in 9 years of my career that I actually had to walk out of the building and cry. Just
So,
because.
and I don't mean to cut you off, but like, it's fair to say like the kid committed suicide. Yeah.
He did, and I don't know. I think the mom is where it hit home for me, because being a mom myself, I couldn't imagine experiencing something like that. And I couldn't imagine walking home thinking that your kid was home after school fine, and you're going to see his smiling face again. And then you walk in and you see that, and it just killed me. And so I feel like that's one of those stories that I just really hope that she has found something that has carried her from that day, just because it's not easy.
Yeah. And in fact, that was the second incident that I had with the child.
And it's funny too, because you never realize that other people have experienced anything like that until you actually open up and talk about it. And even then, you're just like, you feel like you're in it alone, but you're really not, because there's not only medical but like other professions experience stuff like that too. So it's
and the
intense.
I guess the only other thing is that like is either being there sooner than later. You get what I'm saying? So like but the situation was the same, I guess, similar. You know, I'd just come on shift. We all get dispatched to this house. Same thing. Mom and her 12 or 13-year-old watching TV, hanging out. Mom ends up like, hey, I'm going to just pass out.
Sure.
Passes out. Daughter, while mom's asleep, daughter ends up going to the bathroom, whatever. Mom wakes up. It's already dark. And she's like, hey, where the heck's my daughter? She's like, the whole house was dark. So she noticed that the bathroom, like the edge of the bathroom was lit. And so she goes to the bathroom, she knocks, doesn't hear anything. She tries to open it, it's locked. And so she busts the door down, and the door is like super heavy. And she manages to push it through, and the mirror's on the left-hand side. So she catches a glimpse of her daughter, who had just hung herself from the towel hook. And we show up, we had to pull her down, transport her, same thing, like, and, you know, to see the mom just, you know, like,
devastated.
Yeah, she just did not. It's just, you just, like, why?
Right.
You just, you know, so, yeah, those things are tough, you know.
Yeah.
But definitely maybe because of the severity of my first incident, it didn't really hit me that hard, but, you know, thank God I've only had to do 2 kids. But, yeah, it's tough. It's really, really tough. So.
Yeah. It is. But at the end of the day, I mean, you come home, you get to snuggle with your little one and be very, very grateful that you have a healthy little one.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, turning it off is
it's hard. I'm not gonna lie. It's very hard.
Yeah. I don't think I ever struggled turning it off. Did I ever? I did?
Sometimes I was like, you're not in hot mode right now.
Yeah. Well,
Go take a hot shower. Relax.
let's go to the strip club. Relax. Let's get some crabs in your eyebrows.
You gotta go shave those eyebrows after we're done. Yeah.
But no, it wasn't like where I like would dwell on stuff that happened. I was just like super aware.
And not to say that, I mean, it's hard too because.
But I'm still like that. So like I think so I don't mean to cut you off too, but like what she's saying is that like I was super vigilant. I was just protective mode all the time.
Sure.
I was like, dang, who's trying to help?
And that's a good analogy to compare it to, because just like that, like you as a professional, you're in it as a professional. Mm-hmm. You do the job that you're meant to do, and then at the end of the day, you come home and you are still yet at that level, but at the same time, you're a husband or a parent, or you want to make sure that you are protecting, but you're not overly protecting, and you want to make sure that your family's taken care of, but not to the point where it's like unhealthy or unhealthy.
And I think there was a few situations where I was like, that's what you're saying, is like I was way too like protective or paranoid. Because I would get paranoid all the time.
Sure.
You know, I'd be like,
no, and to be honest, there are several nights where I've cried, and I've cried myself to sleep, and it's hard. Like it's mentally straining, and it's hard because it's something that nobody has to should experience. And but like I said, if it's not a job to you, it's something you're meant to do.
You don't question it. You just you're in and out.
You go in and you do it again. And
that's what I was gonna say. Like, you don't question going into work, or it's just like
depends on the day. But if I had enough coffee, let me tell you that.
That strip club did me in. I'm not going into work. No, I get what you're saying. Yeah, there was never a day where I was like, oh, man, I have to go.
I mean, to be honest, though, when I see strippers showing up in Mercedes, I kind of question my choice, but
Well, you have Mercedes money.
ooh, it's questionable.
Yeah, but I never. Okay, so for me, it wasn't about the money. It was like I'm helping people.
Right.
I'm doing what I
Oh
love.
yeah, no, it's and I'm totally kidding about that, but
yeah, no,
it's-
and I can and I. It took a long time to switch careers based on money.
Sure.
You know, it was like heck no.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that. I'm doing what I love.
You
get
always
to
wanted
help
to be a
people.
cop?
No,
No.
I was in retail.
I worked at Victoria's Secret.
No, I worked at a car dealership.
Okay.
Yeah, and yeah, maybe like because I worked there 7 years, so maybe like halfway through, I was like, same thing. Like I need a career, and so I tried applying for like other agencies, and finally got in with Rio Arriba County Sheriffs, and then worked my way to the department where I left finally. But it was kind of one of those things like a no-brainer. Like I need a fucking career.
Sure.
Like I can't fucking sell underwear for the rest of my life.
Yes.
You know,
I mean, you can't.
I mean,
it's not a big deal.
$100,000. But yeah. So no, I didn't want to be a cop forever. But when I found out about when I became interested in law enforcement, I was like, this is my shit. Like this is what I want to do. This is what this is what I was built for.
Sure.
I put 110% into it. Like nothing was hard about being in law enforcement. It just came,
Yeah.
you know, second
Absolutely,
nature.
yeah.
Like, you get what I'm saying? And
Right.
it's like
Yeah,
that
that's
thing where
exactly
it's like,
how I feel too. Every day I walk into the building, it's like I'm a nurse. Like
Yeah,
when
yeah.
I tell people what I do, I said I'm a nurse. Like
Yeah.
it's not that I work as a nurse. Like I am a nurse. And
Yeah,
that's what you kind of
and people were like, oh, you have to deal with like people pulling out guns and like you chasing it. I'm like, that's fun to me.
right.
I
Yeah.
love dealing with that shit.
Yeah.
Like I love being in pursuits. I love doing this.
Yeah.
I love doing this. I love
Sure.
like it's not work, you know? So that's one thing that I struggle with now is like being out of law enforcement is like, man, I miss loving what I did,
Yeah.
you know? And then when I transferred over to being a detective, I even love that more because I got best of both worlds. I got to be home more, but I also got to deal with like more
Intense.
of the like, like building the case and like
Sure.
doing all that shit. So, but yeah, I mean, when you enjoy what you're doing and you're making money, even let's get into the rapid questions. We've only done this one other time,
Okay.
and it went okay. We only did like 2 rounds, and I made the questions.
Okay.
But so these are going to be super random. I haven't gone through them. Well, I read like 1 or 2, and I started laughing. I was like, I can't do this.
Okay.
So do you want to go first? I can go first.
Go first because I
wanna go
don't
first?
have rapid questions.
No, I got you.
Oh, okay.
I got you.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to set you up.
Okay. No,
Let me do my homework.
no, that's was like, yeah,
Let
you
me
go.
do some background music. She thought I was going to not give her questions.
Come.
Okay, let's do this. Okay. I'm going to go first.
Yes.
Rapid questions. Let's do
Okay.
this.
So I have to just quickly answer. Just,
As fast as you can.
Okay.
Try to get through them. First thing that comes to mind.
okay.
Whatever.
Okay.
However. Whoever.
Shoot.
Do this.
All right.
Ready?
Ready.
Texting or talking?
Talking.
Favorite day of the week?
Saturday.
Favorite city in the U.S. besides the one that you live in?
New York City.
Have you been?
No. Which is real weird.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Last song you downloaded?
Candyman. Christina Aguilera.
Okay.
She talks about, stuff.
What is happening? Would you rather be able to speak every language in the world or be able to talk to animals?
Speak every language in the world.
Okay. Favorite holiday?
Valentine's Day.
Why?
I have never been able to answer that question. It just, I don't even have to have a Valentine to enjoy the day.
But you have a Valentine's now.
I
so-
do.
And he asked not to be mentioned.
He is the best Valentine, I have to say. Yes.
Okay. How long does it take you to get ready?
About an hour.
About an hour?
Yes.
That's like 3 or 2.
No, to be honest, it's about an hour. It's give or take 10
Sorry.
minutes.
I'm not reading into the questions.
It all depends on if I wash my hair or not.
Okay. All right. Then hour and 20 minutes?
No, that's why I said about an hour after an hour before. It just depends if I have to wash my hair.
Scale of 1 to 10. How good of a driver are you?
About a 4.
Okay. Fill in the blank. Taylor Swift is...
Amazing.
Really?
I love Taylor Swift. Who doesn't?
Let me see. I'm going to have to restart this. At what age do you want to retire?
55.
Pretty specific. Invisibility or super strength?
Invisibility.
Is it wrong for a vegetarian to eat animal crackers?
No.
That's a good one.
No.
Okay, invisibility, why?
It was what? Invisibility
Or strength?
strength. Because if you're invisible, you can sneak up on anybody.
Sneak up on Louise. Sorry.
He who
doing
should not
beats.
be mentioned.
Yes, doing beats. Okay, your turn. Wait.
Okay.
Okay, you're round 2.
Okay. All right, ready?
Yep.
Ariel or Jasmine?
Ariel.
Why?
Water.
Okay. Scale of 1 to 10. How good are you at keeping secrets?
10.
Dawn or dusk?
Dawn.
Why? But you said you're a night man.
I'm not a dawn kind of guy. What? I am a morning person, but I hate working in the mornings.
Yeah,
If that makes sense.
totally. First celebrity crush.
Ooh,
Britney Spears.
nope.
Hannah Montana.
No. Topanga.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Sorry. Next question.
If you could travel back in time, what period would you go to?
Back in time.
So, say
Dang.
early Ernest.
Early Ernest. Probably.
Or let me ask you this question. Is there anything,
She's formulating her own questions.
am.
That's against the rules. Go ahead.
is there any period in your life where you'd go back and be like, dude, don't do that shit again?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We shall not mention.
Okay. All right. Do you snore? Lauren, does he snore?
Just recently,
You just started, hit your 30s and it all goes downhill.
does the name we shall not mention snore?
Oh.
I rest my case. Every man's man snores.
Every man's man snores. Every woman snores-ish at some point in their life.
You snore like a little baby cub.
All right. Place you most want to travel.
New York.
Yeah, very nice. Okay. I like how we did that turnaround there. Favorite junk food? Takis.
No. Halo Top ice cream.
Guilty pleasure. Yes. Favorite childhood TV show?
Boy Meets World.
Okay. All right.
Topanga.
Favorite season?
Of Boy Meets World?
No.
Oh,
Of actual seasons.
summer.
Why?
Hot weather. Sun's out, guns out.
Okay.
Topanga.
Last Halloween costume.
What was it? Oh, I was a frat boy.
You know what we were?
I am a frat boy all the time.
We were Christmas for Halloween.
I feel like we saw that. No, when were you guys red and green chili?
For Halloween.
But that, oh no, that was not the same time.
No, we were green and red chili, which is Christmas in New Mexico.
No, you
For
thought
Halloween.
She thought you guys were that for Christmas.
Oh, no. We were Christmas for Halloween.
Wait, what? Oh.
Okay, cake or pie?
Neither.
Oh, what? I'm
Not
more
a
of a
cake.
pie girl, not gonna lie.
When's the last time I had pie? Okay, you want to swap it up?
Last one. Do you ever post inspirational quotes on social media?
No.
No. Yep.
That's
Done.
Ernest 2007.
All right. 2007. All right.
Huh? Yeah.
MySpace.
Are you ready?
Ready.
Favorite ice cream flavor?
Cherries Garcia.
Say a word in Spanish.
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
That's a phrase. Do you believe in fate?
I do.
Favorite number?
11.
Why?
It was the only number I was given during sports in grade school, and it
The
just
last number we have is 11. Sorry, Jess. I'm sorry.
it just works for me.
Who has it easier, men or women?
Men, definitely.
Okay, we'll get back to that. Have you ever worn socks with sandals?
Always. Not now.
No. Name a primate besides monkeys and apes.
Humans.
Okay. Why can't we tickle ourselves?
You can.
We can?
Medically, yes, you can.
I've never been able to tickle myself. Have you? You've never tickled yourself.
I have, actually. We won't go into that right now.
Okay. What does a person need to be happy?
Love.
Okay. Is there such thing as objective beauty?
Absolutely.
What is objective beauty?
You say I'm beautiful. I'm beautiful.
Okay, fair enough. What's the best age?
I want to go with 30.
30 is a good age?
Yeah, because you've lived through your 20s, you've done stupid shit through your 20s, 30s, you finally are like, damn, I'm 30.
I'm still doing stupid
yeah,
shit.
I mean, yeah.
What about for you?
Probably like
22?
22.
Dang. I don't think I even knew what life is at 22. Life was.
That's fair.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. Yeah. 30s are good though. I'm having fun.
Yeah, 30s are good, I have to say.
If Voldemort offered you a hug, would you accept? Who is this guy?
First off,
Did I say it wrong?
no.
Oh,
First off, I refer to my ex-husband as that name. I'm gonna say he is
he should be the guy we don't mention. We're giving him no plugs.
he is the bad guy on Harry Potter.
You called it. Yeah, you called it.
Yeah,
So no.
absolutely not.
Okay. Is double dipping at a party ever acceptable?
You want to hear what's funny? I got in trouble with her mom for double dipping when I was a kid.
Oh, she's the double dip fucking police.
Yeah. So
The first time she called me out and I was like, oh yeah? Oh yeah? Oh yeah? My chip was so wet. I was just,
No, needless to say, ever since I've been called out by my Nina, I have never double dipped in my life.
Oh, yeah,
So,
no, I'm-
and I was probably like 7.
I probably started COVID. Okay,
My turn. Where are we? Round 4?
round 4.
Okay. Sourdough or wheat?
Sourdough or wheat? No.
So, I know. No, I'm skipping.
Oh, dang. Okay.
Sourdough or wheat?
Sourdough. Tricking me.
Are lifeguards attractive?
No.
Why? They save your life.
Well, the only one that popped in my head was
The one from
what's his name from Baywatch? What's his name? Yes.
all right.
Trash.
Would you rather cuddle a baby panda or a baby penguin?
I'd rather cuddle my wife.
Good answer.
A baby cub. He likes a baby cub.
Okay.
Let's do this.
All right.
Let me see some of that, because
Oh. Name one of the 7 dwarfs.
7 dwarfs. Droopy?
That's not a dwarf.
7
Dwarfs.
sleepy.
Okay. What was for dinner tonight?
Salads.
Okay.
Vegas ready, baby.
Yeah.
We gotta get Vegas ready.
How many pull-ups can you do in a row?
Like 25? 25?
You have to challenge.
Who? You?
No.
Don't look at me and be like, you got a challenge.
What?
Well, who am I challenging?
We'll figure it out. What type of tea?
Ooh, I do love some Earl Grey tea.
Have you ever had a medicine ball? I make a mean medicine.
What is that?
So it's a drink at a local nationally owned coffee shop, not to be named to flag you. But it's basically a peach and mint tea with honey and half lemonade. It's really good. Stay tuned. I'll have to bring you one.
Let's do that, yeah.
Are reindeers real creatures?
Wait, what?
Are reindeers real creatures?
No.
You don't think so?
I've never seen
What
one.
are caribous then?
Caribous?
They're reindeers.
Are you sure?
They have fuzzy horns. All right. Say something in an Asian language.
God bless. I don't know. What does Toby say all the time? She says,
What?
arigato. There you go.
Oh.
I don't know.
Where's her family from?
Korea. Wait, her mom's from Korea. Her dad's from Guam.
Cool.
So she's Korean. Right? Yeah, she's
Okay.
Korean.
Do you respect Kanye?
Conway.
Conway. Do you respect Kanye West?
I am I'm Kanye all the way.
Yeah, for sure.
Even with like all his bullshit.
Yeah.
Even with like him and...
He's made some dope shit, I would have to say, for sure.
He does not... Just because like he went all fucking crazy and stuff, he does not get less dope.
Right.
He's just...
Faux show.
Not where he was.
Oh, it's a good one, mister. What is the fastest speed you've ever driven in a car?
Close your ears. 140.
And it didn't govern out?
No, not in my police unit.
Oh. Well, I feel like that's fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 140.
I will not answer that question.
Let's hear it.
I think
My turn?
110.
110?
Yeah. It's no bueno. I was on my way to church.
God, forgive me.
I got
Because
there
if you died, you're going to heaven.
I got there on time, I'll tell you.
Okay. What was that? 4? Was that round 4? Okay. Wait, no, that was 5.
No, it was 4.
Are you sure? Because you said cake or pie. You're switching all over.
No, I skipped this one.
Oh, you skipped 4?
I skipped this first question.
Oh. Okay. 8. Okay, cool. You didn't have music this whole time?
We didn't.
Virtue or sin?
Virtue.
What's virtue? I'm not smart.
I want to go with truth. Maybe.
I'll take truth for 700. Okay. Godfather or Star Wars?
I want to see Godfather. I've seen a couple Star Wars.
I know. We're Godfather, right? We're all Godfather. No, but we're mafia type.
I want to say more mafia than fictional. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. How many times did you sneeze in the last 7 days? You gotta censor it because COVID, you know?
That's true. I feel like allergy season is definitely going to get people thrown into the hospital more, unfortunately. Probably 10 or more. I don't know.
That's fair.
I try not to sneeze too much. I don't like
Do you
sneezing.
stifle your sneezes?
I do.
So do I.
Yeah.
And I also sneeze like way too aggressive sometimes. Super dramatic. Well, it feels good. Anyways, do you like the word dapper?
No.
Why? I feel like that's a standout word. Anyways, okay.
Are you feeling dapper today?
Well, like dapper is like a real clean cut guy, right? Or
Sure.
Okay. Big dogs or small dogs?
Ooh, I'm gonna have to go with big right now because we do have a black lab and she's a maniac. So.
Dang. Okay. How many hours of sleep do you need?
To be honest, I've gone off 30 minutes.
Of sleep? Mm-hmm. To go to work?
Oh, is that what it
Oh,
said?
no.
Just
but like
to
just
go to
function?
work. I think I've done 4, and that's night shift. So give or take.
But 30 minutes just to do regular life.
Yeah.
Dang. Are we on that level?
I'm not gonna.
That's like literally going to bed, closing your eyes, waking up.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say that it felt good, but it's functionable.
Oh God. Okay, are women complicated?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Say G-Day, mate, in Australian accent.
Good day, mate.
Okay. Can we get that again?
Good day, mate.
How often is it healthy? How often is it healthy to cry?
Whenever you need to.
Okay, and that's healthy.
If it's daily, you may want to start seeking help.
Yeah, you might want to see somebody.
Sure.
What's your favorite carb? Bread, pasta, rice, or potatoes?
Pasta, for sure.
If you
Weakness.
if you could ask God one question, what would it be?
Is this censored?
Nope. No.
Why these boobs, dude?
God, I hope we get comments. I hope Louise comments. Sorry. Sorry. Okay. Stale Sour Patch Kids or fresh circus peanuts?
Oh, Sour Patch Kids all
Stale?
the way.
No,
Yes.
stale.
Oh, yeah.
Stale?
You can suck on those things for a while.
And then
they
they get-
still are good.
I've had some that are hard, super hard. Mm-hmm. Paper or plastic?
Paper. Paper is real. You can go along with paper. Plastic kills.
Babe, I got one question. Why these boobs? Why? No, it's why, just a Y. These, D-E-Z, boobs.
Hashtag
Let's
nurse Jess.
hashtag why these boobs.
All right, you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. How many kids would you like to have?
I'm good where I'm at.
Good?
Yes.
One and done?
One and done.
Our rat's cute.
No.
What's your favorite car?
Car? Mm-hmm. I would have to say right now, just because I've been juicing over a Ford Raptor. I really
Okay.
like Ford Raptor.
Very nice. Are you politically correct?
Fuck no.
Okay. Do you know how to salsa dance?
I could fake it.
Fake it till you
But
make
no,
it? Okay.
no.
I'm going to skip
If
over...
we're all drunk enough, it'll look like I'm
Sure.
salsa
Okay.
dancing.
I'm going to skip over this next one because
Why?
I don't even understand this. What does the acronym SCUBA stand for?
That's the one you skipped? Scuba.
It's an acronym.
Let me see.
SCUBA.
Oh.
Scuba.
Salty crabs under
Bitch's ass.
bitch's ass.
All right.
Salty crabs under bitch's ass. Hashtag.
Hashtag scuba. Scale of 1 to 10. How good are you at wiffle ball?
Wiffle ball. Mm-hmm. Like a negative 10.
Negative 75. Okay. Do you believe at love at first sight?
No.
Terrible answer.
No. It literally is lust at first sight. Like when okay.
I gotta hear it.
Do we have enough tape? Like when it's like, okay. Do you think it's love at first sight?
I do.
With the person that you're with right now, it was love at first sight.
I do.
Was it love at first sight? With me? Yeah. See? Well, okay, so that maybe is just us. Because, like, for me, I was like, oh my God, she's amazing. Blah, blah, blah. All that stuff. Like, I wanted to
Do stuff to her.
scuba her. But it wasn't like, oh my God,
I'm in love.
I'm in love.
Sure.
I don't think, yeah, I don't think so.
Okay.
Not for us,
Okay.
but for you.
Yeah.
Can you say that for all
No.
for all your relationships?
Absolutely not.
Just this last one?
Mm-hmm. How many cups of coffee do you drink per day?
I feel like we just had this conversation. I could smash a whole pot, 2 20-ounce Red Bulls, and probably more.
Oh.
Yeah, and I can function. I can drink coffee
I
and Red Bulls, and I used to chew all night and be fine.
Okay.
And
That's
I
fair.
have
I can drink
amazing
at
white
least
teeth.
2 cups of, like, large cups of coffee.
And be good.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. I'm good.
Yeah. Okay. What's your ideal outside temperature?
Like 75.
Okay.
Not too hot, not too cold.
Yeah.
No.
Is that the perfect date?
Is that the perfect date?
Haven't you ever watched Miss Congeniality? Where she's like, describe your perfect date. She's like, April 23rd.
You always try to get me to watch that movie.
It's
And
great.
I'm like,
It's
this
great
is
movie.
trash. Okay, do you like watching trashy...
Chick
what do we
flicks?
call it? No, just trash is like knockouts. That's just straight trash. No, but like trashy TV.
Like
Trashy
The
movies?
Bachelor. I can't do The Bachelor. I can do like
What is the other one you like? Temptation Island.
I haven't done Temptation either. No. I used to do Dancing with the Stars. Is that trash TV?
Is that trash TV? It's trash TV. I just can't.
No.
I just can't. Okay, so now we have to pick a winner.
Huh?
Whoever had the best responses, you choose. Who made you laugh more? Hurry! Okay, we both have to take a drink.
Deal.
Okay, give me a seltzer. We both have to take a drink, and then we're good to go.
I do have to say though, I had so much fun.
Was it? It wasn't as bad as you thought, right?
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, no. Yeah, it's not
No.
it's not like this.
Super tense.
Yeah.
I know. I thought about it all day. I was like, all day.
All day?
Kind of.
Oh yeah, because we scheduled you yesterday, or when did we
Yeah,
schedule you?
yesterday, and then I was like, I was off the last 2 days, and I was like, of course, one day that I actually like work.
No,
and
she.
so,
You know, she was like, "Hey,
call
can I
me-
go in today?
Call me in.
I got this thing, and I'm not trying to do it. Like, can I go in?"
Yeah.
And they're
No.
like, "Yeah, for sure."
So no, it was something to look forward to. So I
Cool.
appreciate it.
Hopefully, you had fun. Yeah, you're more than welcome to come anytime. Next time we need
You know,
your better half.
my boo thing. Yeah, definitely better half for sure. That's for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Anything else? Any questions? Any gripes? Bitches, moans, concerns?
I'm loving the new.
It's dope. Yeah.
It's looking great. So
Smells like wood.
it sure does.
Cool. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe.
Hashtag Nurse Jess.
Nurse Jess, hashtag scuba, hashtag.
Victoria's Secret.
No, we're not giving her any. That company any money. No. Hashtag poor girl with the bumps.
Hopefully she's doing real good. Go nurse, go girl.